Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Monetary, coach of the Tampa Bay Luxrays, and today I'm bringing you guys our PPL Season 4 Week 11 match, finally, versus the West Chan United, of course coached by Liam, aka Unlovable Exile. Very good friend of mine, very good content creator. Definitely check his channel out in the description below, you will not regret it. This is an extremely important game. If you did not watch my team builder, then you do not know that despite what I had said earlier in other games where I didn't think I had a chance at the title, I actually have a chance at first place and chance at the D1 Cup if I am able to win this game by a differential of 4-0 or more. This is an extremely important game. This is also a very important game for Liam because if he loses, then he could be facing relegation. So a lot of things are at stake here. However, as much as I would love to see Liam in D1 again, I'm not going to just throw this game because because I do really want that championship for 2 years in a row. So for a quick rundown of the teams, even though I do have an entire team builder dedicated to it, I have Choice Scarf Jirachion, Jolly Max Speed. I have specially offensive Yachiberry Thunderous with Thunder Wave, no setup this week. Physically defensive 2 attacks Jellicent. I have physically defensive Gyroball, Toxic, 2 hazards Fortress. Our specially defensive bulk up Mew with mono attacking Acrobatics, no item, and I have our bulky heal belling Mega Altaria. So looking at his team, no Drapion, which is really nice for both my Jellicent and my Mew. Also, I forget, there's something else I was excited to not see, and I don't remember exactly what it was, so I'm gonna pull up his team real quick and then tell you what it was. Licky was also pretty annoying. And then no Golem, which is kind of nice. Not the biggest threat to my team, but also just kind of nice it's not there. This is going to be tough, because like I said, I have to play this game and get a 4-0 or higher. If I get a 4-0, I tie Kelly on differential, and I beat him in the, I beat him earlier in the season, which means that the victory would go to me, because I won in head-to-head, and that is the tiebreaker when people tie in record and differential. So that's that. Lot on the line here. A lot is on the line here, but we're gonna get off. We're gonna start off this game. He is going to lead with his Kieran Black as I decide to lead with my Mew, and I debated going for the Roost here. By the way, I'm gonna be pausing this game a lot because this was an extremely long game, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But not long in turns, but long in time, and I'll get into that a little bit later. I'm gonna stay. I debated going for the Roost here, seeing what he decided to do. Like, he could go for like a Specs move or a Banded move or a Scarf move or whatever. I could have healed that back up and scouted what he was, but I also didn't want to risk him being a sub-variant. So what I decided to do is actually go for the bulk up turn 1 to see what he was, as he actually reveals the Shadow Ball. And I spent a little bit of time calcing this because I wasn't exactly sure what he was. He's not a boosting item in any way, but I don't know if he's modest or timid yet. I'm thinking he's more than likely modest because the only reason he would want timid is to outspeed a modest Yanmega. But other than that, he has full range to run modest or something like that. So because I don't have leftovers, I can't really beat this thing 1v1, and I don't have Grape Switch into it, but I can make the offensive switch into my Terrakion, which does threaten a lot of his team, but predicting him to go out into the Uxie, because it's the only thing that wants to switch out into this, even if he goes last way, so this works, I'm going to go out into my Mega Altaria and go for the Dragon Dance. So, kind of funnily, I'm going for setup very early, but there's a very good reason as to why I'm doing it. I'm going to go for the Dragon Dance as he Thunder Waves me, and on this turn, I'm going to go for the Heal Bell, getting rid of my Paralysis, meaning that I now will be able to outspeed this Kyurem unless he is a Scarf Kyurem. And I did the calc on this one as well. If he is modest, max special attack, he only has a 6% chance to knock me out with modest Ice Beam. And getting rid of Kieran Black is absolutely huge for my team, and I can possibly roost up later on anyway versus the Uxie, versus something like the Blastoise. So I will definitely take this trade for a very weakened Altaria to getting rid of his Kyurem. Yet, also if he's Roselia Berry, I can also like 2 KO him and he can't kill me. Even like max attack Ironhead will not be able to kill me unless he's like banded or something along those lines. And if he's banded, I outspeed him. So he's gonna go for the Ice Beam. He does reveal he's Scarfed. He's gonna get a relatively low roll for being modest. Not that I mind, I'm totally fine with that. And then I'm gonna be able to knock out his Kyurem, which is absolutely great. Now here, I don't think he's going to be over-predicting. Even if he does go for like an Earthquake or something predicting this, it won't be doing too much to my Fortress. He's just going to go for the Ice Shard. By that damage, I know he's not Banded, he's not Icicle Plate or anything like that. So I'm thinking possibly Sash. And what I'm going to do here is just get up my Stealth Rocks, which are going to be really nice. As you can see on that turn, he actually hard switched into his Mega Aerodactyl, which I was really confused about. But it kind of clicked in my head, okay, he probably predicted me to go for Stealth Rocks there. He's going to have the Fire move, more than likely actually like Fire Blast, something special, because Fire Fang doesn't kill me or bring me down to sturdy, it doesn't really come close. So I'm thinking he's going to have like Fire Blast or something like that, and I'm really thinking he's going to go for it here, because if he goes for anything else, and I hit him with a Gyro Ball, he could go down, I just get a ton of damage off on him, and he doesn't do a lot of damage to me. So expecting the Fire move, I'm going to pull a switch out into my Jellicent, as he actually Mega Evolves and then just straight up goes for the Crunch, doing a lot of damage to my Jellicent, getting the defense drop, which doesn't matter too much. It matters in the sense that he can go for Stone Edge safely, which hits my entire team. But knowing that I need to keep some things alive, I'm going to go out into my Terrakion as he goes for the Stone Edge. Does a lot of damage, just a little bit more than I thought it would, but at least nothing is dead yet. And here, he's going to go out into his Uxie as I go for the Stone Edge. Does a nice little chunklet of damage, just 30%, and he does not have leftovers, so he has even less recovery. And here, I go out into my Fortress, expecting him to either Stealth Rock or go for like a status move like T-Wave, Toxic, something along those lines. I didn't think he would have had U-Turn because he did not U-Turn out versus my paralyzed Mega Altaria earlier, so unless he pulled a double here, I knew there was no way he was gaining momentum, which was really nice. So here, I actually decide to go for, I believe, a Layer of Spikes, as, yeah, I do go for the Layer of Spikes, as he sends in his Mega Arrow again, and he does have the Fire Blast, but he ends up missing, which is absolutely huge, and there's no way that Mega Aerodactyl is able to live a Gyro Ball from Fortress, especially because I am paralyzed. Now, here I was thinking about what he could do. He could obviously Rapid Spin, so I was very much debating going into my Jellicent, but that's also a very obvious play. And I really didn't want to do that, because if he has Toxic, he can go for it, or if he's like some sort of offensive Dark Pulse variant, he can 2 KO me. So what I actually decided to do, knowing that my Altaria has a lot of HP investment, I go out into it as he does reveal the Dark Pulse here, which is really nice for me because I can roost off this damage. And he's going to go for another Dark Pulse. I'm not sure what he was predicting there, I guess a double into Jellicent. But what I can do now, go for the return and weaken this thing enough to the point where my Terrakion can knock it out, my Mew can beat it easily, Thundurus kills it. Also, because he has Dark Pulse, I assume he's, and that did so much, I assume he's like Spadef or like some sort of offensive Assault Vest variant, which is kind of weird because Dark Pulse still doesn't do that much to Jellicent and Mew, or like either of them, but it works. Here he's going to go for the Scald. Not going to get the burn on this turn. I am going to go for the Roost because I can possibly, if I set up 2 Dragon Dances here, I will be able to win the game because Ice Shard will not be able to kill me, and I knock it out at +2. I knock out Infernape at +2, and I outspeed it. By the way, that was the speed investment on this Altaria, was to outspeed Scarf Infernape. I'll be able to knock out Uxie at +2, I'll knock out everything at +2. So he's going to go for another Scald. Does get the burn on this turn. I do have Heal Bell, so not the worst thing in the world, but obviously the burn does just kind of suck. I'm going to go for Roost, just to make sure I can get this thing back to full health, and I can Heal Bell later on versus the Uxie later on, or I can Heal Bell later on. Also, even while burnt, this is still a very big threat to his team, because I can kill the Blastoise at this point, I can possibly set up on the Infernape, and I set up all over the Uxie, so he has to keep his Mamoswine alive to even threaten me, even while I'm burnt, so I don't necessarily have to Heal Bell, even though I do want to at some point. Here, I'm going to make the obvious play, go out into Fortress. He's going to go for the Earthquake. I'm not going to be able to do a ton of damage. And here I'm going to go for another Layer of Spikes, just because as long as I can keep switching around his team, I am okay with allowing his Blastoise another free switch in here, because I do, again, have the Jellicent to block the spin. If I go into Mega Altaria and he doesn't go for like an offensive Ice Beam or something like that, or he doesn't pull a double, I can start setting up with my Altaria again, go for the Heal Bell, force in his Mamoswine, things like that, and do some good things. And again, like, I have the Jellicent in the back, so he's going to be afraid to be clicking Rapid Spin. On this, so I go for the extra Layer of Spikes just to force his Infernape, his Mamoswine to take extra damage on the way in. And here I am going to go out into my Jellicent, as I do predict the Rapid Spin this time. I didn't think he'd go for Dark Pulse that time because he didn't want my Altaria to come in. Here he is going to go for Dark Pulse, and again, it's just not going to do a lot of damage. Like, I could have switched it into Dark Pulse earlier, I just didn't want him to be some sort of, like, weird offensive variant. And I'm just going to get this Jellicent back to max amount of HP. Funnily enough, we actually speed tie. He had 0 speed IVs on his Blastoise, and I had 20 speed EVs on my Jellicent, so we both hit 83 speed, which is kind of funny. But, as you can see here, I'm going to recover, he's going to Dark Pulse, I'm then going to go for the Scald on this turn, win the speed tie, meaning I don't have to take another Dark Pulse. And we are looking really, really good. The championship is actually really close to my hands right now. He's going to send in Mammothline, but I know he cannot knock me out with anything, including knockoff, so I'm just going to stay in, allow him to knock me off, and then knock out his Mammothline with Scald. I actually don't knock it out with Scald, but I get the burn. Why didn't I knock it out with Scald? Was he AV? He might have been AV, and I'm dumb, but he was probably AV. That burn was really nice to get, though. I would have had to switch out into Fortress, but he's going to send in his Infernape. I know he can knock me out with Thunderbolt, or Thunder Punch, rather, but I don't mind it too much, because now I can go out into my Mew, click Roost, and him switching out 100% seals the game. If he were somehow, like, mixed with Flare Blitz, he could have maybe beaten me there, but because he was forced to switch out because he was actually Scarfed, I will be able to set up a substitute and then beat this Uxie 1v1 easily. I'm going to set up a couple bulk ups. He's going to go for the Ice Punch. That's going to do absolutely nothing. He doesn't have a move to even touch me. Going to set up another bulk up. He's going to go for another Ice Punch. Not going to break my sub, and now at this point I'm comfortable enough to just keep clicking Acrobatics until everything on Liam's side dies. Third Ice Punch, not going to break the sub. Acrobatics coming in. That's going to kill the Uxie. And all he has left is the Infernape. I'm behind a sub. This thing doesn't get Hyper Voice, or at least I don't think it does. Even if it did, it wouldn't kill me. Doesn't get Infiltrator. He's gonna go for Fire Punch. Gonna break the sub. Don't care. Infernape's dead. We win 5-0. And we win for the second season in a row. We are going to end up finishing on top in the PPL, this time in Division 1. And that feels absolutely incredible. This was an you guys have absolutely no idea how intense this game was. This game was 34 turns and took almost an hour to complete. Like, we spent almost 2 minutes thinking about our moves, both of us. Like, there were some points I was like, okay, like, Liam, I'm sorry I'm taking so long to pick my move, and then I would pick my move and he would still be thinking. So, it was just such an incredible game. So intense, and I'm so happy it ended the way it did. Unfortunately, I may have relegated Liam to Division 2, but we finish on top. We beat Kelly by 1 differential point. And that feels really good. We came back from what I thought was an unwinnable situation, a situation where I didn't think it was possible to win the title. Maybe we could get like 3rd place or something like that. I would have been happy going like 8-3, 3rd place or whatever, but the situation worked itself out perfectly, and we finished the season 8-3, plus, I believe, 12, and the #1 spot in Division 1, which is awesome. We're the first team to beat both D2 and D1. We're the first team in the PPL to win consecutive seasons, and it feels just so good. I spent so much time working on this team. I spent a lot of time on this season. No matter how busy I got in school or real life, I spent enough time. Like, I'm committed to this league, and I love this league, and I love the people in it, so I wanted to make sure I gave it my best. And my best ended up being enough this week, and it ended up being enough for the season, and we're going to finish on top, and that's awesome. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but I'm still just super excited from this game, and this was the perfect way to say goodbye to Horus, because at the time we had this battle, that was a little while ago, like, Sun and Moon was coming out. Sun and Moon is actually out now, but this was a great way to just say goodbye to Horus, for me at least. So, that's enough of that. I will be having a season recap coming out relatively soon. I'm not sure when I'll get the chance to record that, but it'll definitely be coming. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you guys for supporting me throughout the entire season. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and I will see you next time.